Today, Megan and I are going to bring you 5 cool West Coast swing basics. If you're new to West Coast swing, these are going to be basic-ish patterns. If you've been around for a while, you probably know these patterns, but you don't know the things that Megan and I are going to talk about. You probably missed them when you learn them, so stay tuned. All right, first pattern. If we did a sugar push and we got to 2 hands, the first pattern we want to talk about is the free spin. The reason why I like the free spin is it allows the follower to literally spin for free, meaning I don't have to hold this hand above her head. The follower can just focus on her own footwork, his or her own footwork, because it's 2025. So lead-wise, this is what I need to think about when leading that. Obviously, I have a cross hand, so I'm developing the skill of leading with this cross hand. I don't need both preps. You'll see us all the time lead both preps, but officially, and this is where you might have missed something, you don't need the first one. You need connection on that. You need the second prep. And so Megan is going to put her left side ahead to put herself in position to turn. So Megan, what do the followers need to think about?
Followers, essentially, you just need to think lowest common denominator. So if you're being prepped for a turn, that's probably what this is going to be. It doesn't really matter that he's going to let go of my hand. I'm still going to do the turn and come out with my anchor. If Brian wants to lead me in something else after that, that's up to him.
That's perfect, Megan, because this is pattern number 2, is the roll in, roll out. So now we're developing the skill of Megan thinks lowest common denominator free spin, but I keep her hand 3 and 4. I allow her to get onto her right foot and anchor 5 and 6. So this is very easy at a low level. I just roll in. You'll sometimes see people put this hand there, and then we roll out. Reason why that's cool is later on, this is how we get to roll in, roll outs, and more advanced stuff. But what do the followers need to think about on the roll in, roll out?
So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Making sure that you fill out this connection here, and then on the way out, pay attention to the speed in which the leader is leading you out, because this is nice and slow versus what we might be doing at a later date,
where the hand might come out into some other different patterns. All right, pattern number 3, I learned this in the very beginning. There's the basic whip, and then this whip with an inside turn. To this day, I can lead all sorts of followers through this, even if they've never learned it. But pattern number 4 is going to be a variation for that. Things that I need to think about as a leader, I lead a basic whip, 2, 3, and 4. As I step across on 4, I have to look at my watch. I step sideways on 5. I'm kind of exaggerating this, but I'm giving Megan plenty of room to scoot through for 6, anchor 7, and 8. One more time, and then Megan will chime in with the lead followers' footwork. I put this hand up, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Actually, Megan, why don't you cover the footwork? Because this footwork we're going to use in pattern number 4.
Sure. So followers, we are going to do the whip like normal. So we have 1, back, 2, 3, and 4. Now, we're going to walk forward for count 5, turn over our left shoulder for 6, and then 7 and 8.
And the reason why knowing that footwork is important as the follower is that when I lead something like this is pattern number 4, the same side whip, it's the exact same footwork, and it's not going to feel super weird. So leaders, what I like to do is lead maybe a basic whip with an inside turn. Then I'm going to wrinkle this up and lead the same side whip. Let me do this from this side, leaders, because the footwork is easy but different. 1, 2, 3, and is the same. 1, 2, 3, and. On a regular whip, I'm going across the slot. On the same side whip, guess what? I'm staying on the same side for count 5. Megan's still staying connected. Now my arms are going to move in towards me. 5, 6, 7, and 8. So when they told you in beginner class that you can't lead with your arms, incorrect. I can totally, I'm going to leave you on that side. I can totally lead with my arm. Totally, totally, totally. I don't have to use my body at all. It is more effective to use your body, but developing the skills within your arms, excuse me, Miss Megan, because right here, 1, 2, 3, and Megan's connected with her body. I'm connected with my body, but now I'm going to step underneath myself. My arms have to lead the rest of the pattern. And for the followers, I think I know what Megan's going to say. What are you going to say?
So if we can get to count 3 and. 1, 2, 3, and. For both the whip with an inside turn and for the same side whip, followers, if you can stay stuck to this hand, even on count 4, it's going to allow you the space and time to figure out what the leader wants next.
Bingo. And pattern number 5 is the passing tuck, but I'm going to give you a wrinkle to the passing tuck because all the cool kids leave some sort of passing tuck, leaves us lots of styling options, follows up really well with a right side pass. Let's do it one more time, but the wrinkle is going to be, I'm going to do this in closed position, so I can lead a pattern like a right side pass and stay in closed position, and then I can lead a tuck off the right hand. So to get in closed position, if I was a beginner, easiest pattern would be a whip. Count 4, 5, 6. That's 6. That's 6, and then we anchor 7 and 8. Ooh,
Yeah,
the universe.
because we did a whip.
Solar flare. So from here, I want to practice a couple things first. Number 1, I want to practice a left side pass out of that. What that
Not
does,
expecting that.
what that does is, as Megan said before, she's going to stay tethered or connected to this hand, 2, 3, and 4, and I just guide her back out. I want that connection there because when I lead the tuck part, what I'm going to do is draw my hands into me. 1, 2. I've drawn Megan into me, so I have a little space to move away on the 3 and. 3 and. Then I loop, I can let go, send her down line for 4, 5, and 6. Let's do that let go version again. So I'm at whatever my max distance is, we're connected away. I draw her in with my arm on 1, 2. She's stuck to that, so I send it away 3 and 4. I can guide her back out 5 and 6. You could also do the same thing, take the hand over. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and take that over. So if you are interested in seeing how all of these patterns that we teach online and in person relate back to the basic push, pass, and whip, download this pattern tree right here. Megan spent months of her life putting it together. And if you just want to be inspired with some more intermediate style moves, we put together this intermediate moves list right here.